welcome to the hut. I'm in South Lincolnshire. Hope everybody's staying safe, hope everybody's okay. Thank you very much for joining me. Week 3. Okay, first week, what did we do? Week 1, we did Shetland, because that's a series I was watching. We did Paradise Sunset last week, which again, I really enjoyed. And was good fun. This week, I thought I'd do something a little bit more fanciful. It is, thank you Lewis, I asked him to check my settings, that's excellent. Yeah, so this week I've done a little miniature, and so I've got an idea of what I want to do, but I want to do like purple skies and purple mountains, and have a little like Swiss cottage. So it could be in the Rocky Mountains, it could be in Switzerland, Austria, that kind of thing. But we'll see as we go along, because you know me, if you've been with me before, you know I change my mind as I go. Ashley, is this with the video camera? No, I'm actually on my phone. I record with my phone because the video camera isn't linking up, so that's where I've got the issue, Ashley. Okay, thank you. Right, so colours. What colours have I got today? First of all, let me show you my canvas. My canvas is a 20 by 16, pre-stretched, pre-primed. It's a De La Roni, so it's reasonable condition, but again I have still put the extra coat of gesso primer, which was the picture I posted earlier, because as I've said many times before, when they say they're triple primed, they're microscopically primed. So I always put a good layer on myself so that I've got a good base. Then I've used the Bob Ross Liquid White, which is an oil-based medium. It's very, very slow to dry, but it does make the canvas nice and slick so that we can move paint actually on the canvas. Now, colours. Again, oil paints, titanium white. I use a mix between the Bob Ross colours and the Winsor Newton. I find they're the best, in my mind, for oil colours. So I've got titanium white, Prussian Blue, dark sienna, dioxazine purple, alizarin crimson, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, and a little bit of bright red. If I need any more, I have the rest of the supplies over there, and I'll mention them as we go. Okay. Hi James, and good evening. Good evening, Gemma. Hope you're well. I know you were live earlier this evening. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I was setting up for this, setting the fire and everything going. But the fire is on and it's slowly dying down now, so I won't get any hot flashes with a little bit of luck. Okay, so where are we going to start? We're going to start with a little bit of the purple. And I'm just going to tap into it so that I've got a little bit of colour. Don't want a great deal of colour. Might nick a little bit of alizarin crimson, make it a little bit more reddy. And as we know, red and blue make purple, so we'll add a little bit of the blue as well, just to change the colours a little bit and get a little bit of movement, a little bit of colour, because it's been a very, very long year last year, and this year's going the same way. So bounce it around so that we get different values of the colours and we get a different mix. We're going to mix all the colours actually on the canvas. And I'll come down. I won't come down too far today because I'm going to put in a huge mountain, because I just fancy, I haven't done a mountain for so long, and I did this small little miniature piece and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but obviously being in the small miniature I didn't get much chance. Now you see we've got all the different colours. We've got a little bit of purple, a little bit of white, a little bit of blue, and we've got all sorts of varied colours there. Now, as I'm always saying, take a step back, and I am going around the corners, and the reason why I go around the corners is because very few people these days seem to want to frame their artwork. So if they're going to do me the honour of hanging me on the wall, I think the least I could do is, I'm going to put a little bit more colour in the middle. The least I can do is go around the edges so that they're, that's better. That's what we were missing. That was a bit pilly-wally, as my mum used to say, being the Scots that she was. There we go. And if you want to know what pilly-wally means, I really don't know. It's just whenever something was a bit weak and a bit off, it was a bit pilly-wally. Hi, Pippa! How you doing? Nice to see you. Glad you could join me. Hope you're okay. Again, I think I mentioned it last week, so I'll mention it again this week. Pippa owns the bakery, well, not the bakery, a little coffee shop in town, in the village, and because she's closed because of the COVID, I'm just going to clean my brush while I chat, and she's putting all the local crafters, free of charge, bless her heart, she's putting all our work in the windows. So if you're passing by Sutton Bridge, do have a look at the windows. There's lots of sunflowers, but there's some of my paintings in there as well. Okay, what am I going to do next? I'm going to add some clouds. Now the clouds I'm just going to bounce them in. I'm not going to be too fussed about them. Just put a little bit of shape. A little bit of swirling. And go over this side. Come into there. And put a little bit up here. What I really want is just a little bit of shading, because I'm going to be covering most, ooh, got a little bit too much on there, but don't worry, see, that's the beauty, it all just disappears. Then get a clean brush. I'm going to use my 2-inch, purely because it's got more bristles, so it blends better. And I'm literally, if you have a look at that now, I'm literally just using the top corner of the brush. I'm not using it anywhere, I'm not doing that, I'm just doing this. Tiny little swirls around. And what we're basically doing is we're blending out the bottom so that when we fluff it, because clouds are fluffy, we fluff them all into place, then they will all sink into the painting and you'll be left wondering, is that a cloud or is that just my imagination? Which is the effect I want. Okay, so now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to take some Prussian Blue, and that is Prussian Blue there as well, so I may as well add that, and I'm going to take my purple. Might even take a little bit of alizarin crimson, because what's that hymn that we always used to sing as children? Purple-headed mountains, all things bright and beautiful. Go have a little bit more purple, I think. Now, if you can't see what colour you're coming up with, grab a little bit of white and just put that in. And yeah, I need a little bit more red, because that's not red enough for me. Right, going across, cut across it, you've laid it down flat. And basically, I'm going to just put out a nice mountain range. It's going to go right the way across. So I'm going to start in the middle here. I'll start going up and back down, as mountains tend to go up and down. Come across. Press very firmly into the canvas, because you do want to make a permanent mark. We're not looking to scrape it off and change our minds, because at this point I don't really think you could change your mind if you wanted to. Not now. You'd have to wait until it was all dry. and then when it was dry you'd be able to change your mind. And I am going to take this mountain right the way across. Just be careful where the... Now the mountain that I did actually in the picture up there, I'm going to try and replicate a bit. It actually ended up coming down like that. So now this is the hard bit. In fact, this is probably the hardest bit in the whole. It's coming across round this corner and making it look natural, but we will. In fact, I think we'll go back up again so that we can use that as a bit of a rise of a mountain in the background. There we go. There we are. Okay. Then going back over this side, we'll do some more, a few more peaks, and we'll take that off over there. And that side I think we'll just leave to drift off to its heart's content. Okay, so just, there we are. Scrape off what you don't need. Okay, pop it in. I've got some paper held down over there on my artist chair. I didn't mean that to sound as pompous as it sounded actually on my artist chair, but that's what it is. I got it from the SAA, so it is designed from, but I must admit I tend not to use it because I tend not to go much plein air. I don't know if anybody watching tends to. I don't know if I've got any artists actually watching me. I know my friend Wendy does, but I tend not to. Most of it tends to be out of my imagination. Okay, so that's quite a mountain range we're building up there. Going to take my brush, I'll just knock the paint off, and we'll begin to lay out how we want our mountains to look. So leaving the top corner, we will then come down, and then maybe this one comes down across in front of that one. Maybe these are right in the back, but we can change our minds. This isn't set in stone, and I usually do change my mind as I'm going along. And then this one, and this I want to be one of those types of mountains that's just sort of like drifting off into the distance. Okay, and then we'll just fade that away. Okay, there we are. I'll sort where that's going later. Okay, take the brush, give it a good beating. And those of you again who have been with me for a while will know I just have a bucket and it has a plant holder, but a hanging basket in it, which my hubby screwed into, which means it doesn't move. So back to the knife. Now, on the little picture that I did, I just drew that flat, but what I am going to do is add a little bit of colour to it, because I do feel a little bit of blue as well. Do feel that with that sky, I don't think we'd be seeing dead white snow. So we'll pop some snow on here. There we are. And you can see the colours coming out. Pop that down there. Wipe your brush. This is a knife. Wipe your knife onto your next side, which is going to be there we are. And this is going to be my big part of the mountain. So that's going to come out. This is the big boy. All right. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm literally holding it very, very light. Very light. There's hardly any pressure at all, because if you do put a lot of pressure on it, then you end up looking like you're you look like you're Pippa and you're icing a cake. And we'll have a little bit of snow that's going to come down here as well. All right, there we go. Right, so now I need to put in my shadow colours. My shadow colour, I'm going to use a smaller knife. For my shadow colour, I'm literally going to take my mountain colour, which is quite blue, take a little bit of white and add that, and then we've got this purple, bluey purple mixture, which, again, don't mix it too good. Too good, don't mix it too well. Oh my goodness, have I got the wrong teeth in today? Okay, so coming here, we're going to be going the opposite direction from that, just to show that the mountain's coming down that way. A little bit more on this piece. A little bit more over there. And then for the big one, we come up and we're going to come down right the way down, because he's going to be our centre mountain. Alright, so just bring him right down. If you bring a little bit over, that doesn't matter. There we go. And there's our mountain. And over here, I'm going to use just the small edge of the knife, and then we'll put in a little bit of shadow there and a little bit of shadow coming down this way. Okay, put a little bit shadow down here and down here. And then over on this side, here's the big edge of the knife, because this is all in shadow, but you're bringing down the snow. There'll be snow on the very, very tops of the mountain, but this, there you go, is right the way round. So short edge of the knife, because that's the only thing that fits around the corner. I think I may put a tree or something there, because that's not looking very nice, and I'm not overly pleased with what I'm doing there. Okay, so it just comes over, and that needs to be the brighter colour. So again, just cut across using that, and we'll just cut down there with some. So that side's worked a little bit better. Not that you can see it, but it has worked a little bit better. Okay, that's my mountain done. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter colour, the shadow colour, and I'm literally going to just tap all the way along the bottom, using the colour, and I'm just using the top edge of the brush, and as it picks the colours up, it will change colours, which is fine, because that's what we don't mind. It's what we want. It's changing colours, it's changing values. Vary the height of your tapping so that you've got highs and lows. Bring it forward. There we are. Okay, so clean brush. No, I didn't need to clean the brush because I forgot I've got a snow brush over there. That's my cloud brush, so that can be my dark brush. And this is going to be my snow brush. So I'm going to bring that in, and I don't mind that all this colour is going to get involved. I don't mind that. So coming from here, I think the snow on the mountain's going to be coming basically this way. So we'll just lay some in. There we are, going up a little bit. Bringing some of the colour down. There we go. Landed some shadows that way, which is fine. Right the way across. And we've got some shadows, which is, again, is fine. That's why I don't mind that the brush wasn't totally clean. Okay, so there we are. Okay, again, it looks a bit straight, but we can go up into the bushes somewhat. Break up little paths that maybe disappear off into the sunset. Well, won't disappear off into the sunset, disappear off into the mountains maybe. They'll be in shadow. Okay, I'm going to put the snow brush down there. Going to take, a different 1-inch brush, and I'm going to come along, tap in this colour, which is slightly darker, so I'll mix the both. This is still my mountain colour, and then we will come in with a second plane of bushes, trees, bits and bobs, as they say. There we go. We'll maybe take that up there and bring that over like that. Put that one down. I'm going to put it over there by the bucket because you know I tend to forget that I have them. Now what I'm going to do before I do anything else is grab my script liner, and this one is a number 2 script liner. It's a royal one. I think it's actually a watercolour one, but it's quite good with the bristles. And I'm just going to put in a few pieces of stems and trunks that will, as the good man said, uses to hold all this stuff up. I'll even put a little tree there. Put the trunk, big trunk. He's going to wibble wobble off the page. There we go. Okay, so just feel free, whatever you fancy doing, do. This is going to be a lighter tree, but it's going to be a taller tree. It's going to come out. There we are. I think he's going to have another few branches on him. I think he deserves to. He's getting a bit big, isn't he? A bit big for his boots. There we go. Okay, there we are. Right, give that one a wash. Back to my, no, I want my round brush for this. Spread out the tapping in the corners. Then over we go. Now, if it doesn't stick, it's because you need a slightly thinner paint. So that's where you dip into the old liquid white and look at that. It sticks. Okay. Now, I have been asked before, where do I get all this equipment from? Because Bob Ross is an American, basically, thing, it is a bit difficult to find his stuff over here. But we have this wonderful place called eBay and an equally marvellous place called Amazon. And if you can't find them locally, then you will find them on those 2 platforms. What I have done also is I've sourced, that's why I use the Winsor & Newton, because the Winsor & Newton is freely available and it is just as thick as the Bob Ross. So if you want to buy British, I do believe Winsor & Newton is still British. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but I believe they are. So now what I'm doing is taking the bottom of the colour and dragging it to create another plane in a different colour, so it brings it forward a little bit. Okay, and then we'll add that. Now I'm going to go a little bit more purple, and I'm going to come in from over here, because I'm going to put some bushes in that here, can't I, because I didn't like the trees. And I'm going to come down like that. In fact, I might even use a little bit of, there we go, a little bit darker, just so you can see, and bring it right across the front. And then that'll be my okay. Now the way that you stroke it is the way your land lies. Okay, so if I was to then, now you'll notice this comes this way, so this one, if I do a slightly darker top on it, which it will have anyway by the time I do a slightly darker top on it, you can see that this comes up to it, but this cuts it off and it brings it to the front. Alright, and we all know snow is reflective, so it will reflect the colours up in the sky. So it was going to be purple mountains, didn't I? So the other ones are, oh no, they're the blue mountains of Virginia, aren't they? Okay, so using my blue brush, my brush again, I'm going to go into the blues, mix a little bit purple, a little bit of alizarin, and let's do, right, I'm going to start up here this time, because I want the tree basically to hide that corner, because it really hasn't gone very well. So there we are. Okay, there we are. There we are. Okay, so that looks good. And I do apologise for saying K so much, but that is, ask any of my old students. It's what I say. Is anybody else out there? Is anybody out there? I can see there's a few people watching. Be nice to hear from you. Please introduce yourselves. We're a friendly bunch. Well, I'd like to think we're a friendly bunch. About to find out if you don't like this painting, aren't I? Okay, come back down here. I'm going to bring that quite dark. Okay, and we'll have another one that's growing up there. We will have, I thought my friend Lauren might be watching, because she's having she's saying she hates Fridays. So I was hoping to make her Friday better. But again, just a few sticks and twigs. We'll have another one of those that's growing out. There we are. But I'm not too concerned about these, because I will have my cabin here. My little cabin's going to go here, so these will be next to the cabin. So maybe they're getting a little bit more heat. She says, walking into the bin. There we go. That's that bit. I'll just clean my brush for no other reason than I wanted to just pick it up, and I ended up dunking it in the cleaner. So make sure it's good and dry. take some of the bottom colour. So we've got some shadows that can disappear up into there. There we go. And take that shadow colour right away. There we are. There we go. Okay, so now let's say I want to put a little chalet in there. You know, the type of thing that you get when you go skiing and stuff, but I really fancy little squat cabin just about here. Now, first thing I have to do is make sure my knife's clean. So let's get some clean, there we go. Just throw that. I've got everything set up a bit different, so I'm trying to find everything. Okay, first things first, how are we going to do this? I think we're going to go there. There we are. Little squat front. All I'm doing is scraping off, marking out how my cabin's going to look, and scraping it off, scraping off some paint. Because the thing is with this, as I'm sure you've heard before, a thin paint sticks to a thick paint, but thick paint will stick to no paint. So if you scrape it off, it works better. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of Van Dyke Brown. Oh no, it's not Van Dyke Brown, that's the dark sienna. I'm going to take some of my yellow ochre and a little bit of alizarin crimson, not a lot, and that's going to be the colours. So take that and just fill it in. Okay, there we are. Maybe a little bit darker. So we need to, there we go. You can see it now. So it all just, this one you do want to look like you're icing a cake. So you do want to press quite hard. There we go, and then we'll go around the corner. Alright, yeah, I know it's not brilliant yet, but it will be. Then take some of the lighter yellow, a little bit more of the yellow ochre, and we'll just brighten up that front piece. There we are. Not going to brighten up the side because the side is obviously in shadow, and going around the corner. Then I'm going to take some clean snow and I'm going to layer it on here. So first off this side, and then at the back. So need a little bit more than that. I may need to go and get some more paint. There we go. Need to get a little bit more paint, I'm running out. There we go. There we are. And a little bit here. There we go. Okay, as we're in the shadow of the tree and it's fairly thick. So we need to take it round the corner a little bit to there. No, need to take it round to there. There we go. Okay, it goes off round the corner. So, what are we going to do? We're going to put in a door. There's my door. And we're going to have a bit more red in it. We'll have a reddish door. Down there. Now, I don't know why that looks like, I must have caught it. Okay, we'll put that back in. I'm going to take a little bit and just make that white. Perhaps add a little bit of, nobody likes yellow snow, do they? That's better. That's a bit better. Just got too many layers of paint on there. There we are. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit rustic, but I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to put, he's got a porch, and that's going to have a little bit of snow on it. Okay, little window, another little window. There's a window under there, but the snow's hanging down, so we'll leave that one. Go into the bright yellow, put a little bit of hint of yellow in there, and then we'll just go round with something a bit dark just to show that we've got a window. Just going to take a little bit of this snow on the windowsill. Okay. A little bit of snow on there. There we go. That's better. Okay, and I'm also going to, because Bob never used to do this very much, and that used to annoy me. If you're out here in the middle of nowhere, you're going to want a chimney, because you're going to need a fire. So, there. There's the chimney. Bit see-through, but we'll soon paint him up. A few bricks. There we are. And top, because people are home, so there will be some smoke. Put some little pots on. There we are. Okay, that's my top. That's my chimney. Right, not happy with that. May need to put some more. There we are. A bit more snow on it. There we are. Okay. We take that. There we go. That's better. Okay. So now, using, where are we? Using my snow brush. First off, I'm going to go in here and we'll add some snow to our tree. Again, we're going to need the liquid white. She's just spattering it everywhere. You just go with it, girl. There we are. So there's little frosty bits all over. There we are. Coming down behind, we'll do a few little frosty bits and bobs around the old bottom of the, there will be a little bit of reflective light. Oh, I forgot to give him a doorstep, didn't I? Goodness me, it's me criticising Bob about not having a chimney, and I haven't given him a doorstep. How can I not give a man a doorstep? Everybody needs a doorstep. There. That's better. Otherwise the snow's going to get in, isn't it? Okay, what I am going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of purple and I'm just going to create a little bit of a shadow of a path. Okay, and it's going to disappear off into nothing. There we are. Just a little bit of a hint of a path. Grabbing my white again. There we go. Bringing it down. Going to back add if I'm starting to flush a little bit, it's because it's getting very, very warm in here. Hubby decided to come in and help me set the fire tonight, and oh goodness me, he really did. set it going. Right, I'm going to rough up this snow a little bit, purely because I want a little bit more texture than I've got. So I'm literally just taking the colours and making things a bit rougher. Okay, there we go. Now I want to do, oh, I want another tree. What time is it? 22? I've got time for one more tree, haven't I? So let's go into the blues and the purples and the reds. And I think I'm going to do one here. I don't think I'm going to, oh yeah, shall we do a tree? Indecision time, let's do a tree. It's going to go right the way up. Right the way. Okay, so you're just going to have to talk amongst yourselves for a second while I quickly go and get some more titanium white. Again, I've got this one is the Winsor & Newton. It's Anna, very nice. I love to watch people. Chrissy, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just think in this times that we're in at the moment, if we can all give each other a little bit of love and a little bit of sharing, a little bit of caring, then we'll all get through fine. Okay, so this one, again, I have added, take that round the corner, there we are. Not that brush, that's not working for me now. So we will turn to this brush. Very friendly brush, and it will help you out of a crisis. There we go. Right around the corner. Actually, it just looks like a puddle of snow there now, doesn't it? Okay, here we are. Take it round the corner, don't forget. As I said, because people are, don't know about you, I mean, are you two paintists? Gitana and Chrissy, are you actually artists? Because if you are, I'd love you to post some of your work on my page so that I can see what everyone else gets up to. And if you'd like to give this one a go, I'd like to see that as well. I'll just put a few little bits and bobs on the end of the tree. That it's not so much that it's leaves that I'm putting on these trees, it's more to do with the fact that I'm putting on little branches that you can't necessarily see but you know are there. Right, one final look. I think that's it. I will probably tidy up the cottage, but I'm sure you've all got homes to go to. I'm sure you're all in homes already, but I'm just going to, now I sign mine in red, purely because, as I say at the end of most videos, when I learned by watching Bob Ross on videos, he always signed in red, and I just thought that's what you did. So, of course now it's too late to change because all my paintings I sign in red. So, there we are. There we have it, my little Swiss Alps, my Swiss cottage, or my Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, or wherever. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for your company. It's very nice for you to join me. I've this, when it's dry, this will be on my website, which is rbart.co.uk/store. I will also be putting the video on YouTube, the edited version, and that will probably be up on Saturday. So if you'd like to hop over to that, that could always do some little bit of love and attention. So please like my channel, share, click the bell. You all know what to do with that one. And don't forget rbart.co.uk. If you need to get in touch with me, I'm on Facebook, as you now know, because you've watched me live. So please pop by, say hello to my page, perhaps we can have a paint-a-thon. That would be quite pleasant. Let me know. I seriously do hope everybody's okay. This does look like it's going on for a while, so I will be back next week. Same time, same place, Friday, 7 o'clock, Facebook on my page, Ruth Baldry Art. And if not, let's say this is be up on YouTube Saturday or Sunday. Take care. Thank you for your company. Stay safe, whatever you are doing, wherever you are. And I'll see you next time.